Welcome back to Excellent Gamers. My name's Senkai, and today I want to do a console review on the Nintendo Switch. I've shown this before when I talked about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I really like this console, so I'm not sure entirely where I want to start, but as you can see, this is a very good portable system, but it also works for the TV, so I want to talk about like how that works, and then also uh, briefly mention what you got out of the side of the box when you bought the system. So let's get to it. First up, of course, you got the console. So you can take off the controls like this, very easily. No problem at all. So this is the console. This small little device is the whole console, and it's very impressive. Um, uh, and the game cards are up here, so I just want to show you real quick. Um, this is what the games look like. Very small cartridges, but they're great. They hold a bunch of space. I'm not sure exactly how much, but I mean, uh, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is a very big game, and like it's amazing how it fits in a cartridge. I really prefer cartridges over CDs anyway, so that's just very cool. And I mean, how this outputs such a great image quality when hooked up to a television is not because the docking station here, this is the way you can charge the system as well. It's not because this has some extra power in it or anything. This is actually as powerful as it is on its own. That all it needs is a bit of more power, like more electricity. So you hook it up to the charging station here, and with the power you get from the wall when you hook the docking station to the wall with the AC adapter, the system overclocks and can like run games in higher resolution or higher frame rates or whatever really. So that's a pretty nice solution they've got there. They optimize the games to run perfectly as like on the handheld like this, um, with the option to hook it up to the TV in case you want to. Um, so I mean that's a really cool concept, and it's just great to know that out of the box you can just pick this up because this is how it like you get it like this in the box when you buy it, and these separate. So you can just put these on just like that, and play as is. You don't even need this. You can for the first like 4 days, I believe, I didn't even like hook this up. I had no need to because the games work perfectly fine. And in Zelda's case, it actually works even better like this, both in image clarity and frame rate. But not gonna talk about Zelda here, so let's not talk about that anymore. But just want to say that games look perfectly fine like this. So if you're a handheld person like me, um, this is a great system. Like it's cool how you have a next generation system that works like this. Because I mean, um, this is probably gonna get. I was gonna say Dark Souls, but we have a bunch of companies who promised they or like said that they were working on games, and From Software was one of them. So great PS4 and Xbox One games are probably gonna get ported to this, and to be able to play them on the go. I mean, that's fantastic. Another thing, if you want to play it on the TV, is that you do not need to hook it up like this and risking like scratching your screen and stuff. I think this is completely safe, and I haven't got like any scratches so far hooking it up like this. Like this is no problem for me. But if you are afraid of like scratches and stuff, what you can do is you just put a USB-C female or male, I don't know. I think it's a female. Inside here. Then you just take the cord. You place this wherever you want, like beside your TV or on the floor or anywhere really, and you just take that cable and put it in here, and you're gonna get the like HDMI out and everything because it goes like this is all it needs to connect to the docking station. So you can use a cable for that. I mean that's pretty cool actually. But that's it for the docking station. Like you can use this to charge your console if you play this during the day, um, and you need to charge it. Of course, you can just plug in the charger as usual, like on your 3DS and stuff, and charge it as is. or you can just put it in this docking station and let it charge overnight and stuff. And what's also very nice when it's docked, I want to show you. Let's not dock it like 1,000 times and scratches during this review. But but you know, when it's docked, you can remove the controllers because they're on the side here. So even though it's docked, I can take these on and off very easily. And change. So the thing is, I have two pairs of Joy-Cons. So I use these like in front of my TV, and when they are out of battery, I just take out the others, put the ones that are out of battery to charge, and then I continue to play on this one. So I mean, that's really nice, and it's a bit of a luxury. I got those for multiplayer, and it's also funny that if you buy separate Joy-Cons, they are the reverse color of the ones they came with, because you get one red and one blue. But buying them in like the 2-pack with the extra accounts, you get the other side of the colors. So now I have 2 red that I can use together and 2 blue. So just thought that was nice as well. They're very easy to take off, and like I said, great if you want to like trade with people and stuff. I just assume there's gonna be like Zelda Joy-Cons and stuff later down the road, so you can just take them off and sell them and get new ones, and or like trade with a friend or whatever you like actually. So pretty nice stuff. In the box you have some other stuff which I think is absolutely unnecessary, and I'm not gonna use. First up are these. These are like straps, which I'm a fan of. But these extenders here, they are not recommended. Do not use these. I tell you, you slide them on like this. I'm not going to do that because of reasons. I'll get to that eventually. But when they're on, it looks like this. Pretty much, it gets a bit bigger, which I do not like because I like how small this is. You can like hold it. Like this, and it works perfectly fine. You get around it very well, you can reach all the buttons. It's very comfortable, in my hands at least. Not so much with these, but also when you try to get these off, they sit too well. So I almost felt like breaking them when I tried to get this off. Didn't feel natural at all. It felt very bad actually. So do not use these, I recommend you. And if you do, you are going to have to take them on and off every time you need to charge these as well. So this is such a weird accessory, I have to say. I'm not going to use those. And then also you have the grip, which makes the Joy-Cons look like a traditional controller. This is kind of stupid in my opinion. I would never use this. And you're free to do so if you like. I mean, do whatever you like and play whichever way you prefer. But I mean, you can hold it like this and play it like a traditional controller, or you take them off and you hold them like this, like a traditional controller. I don't see the difference. I prefer these controllers like this. You can play them in a very relaxed way. I can even like lie down and play. I can play like this or whichever like stupid way I want to. Have them upside down and everything. It works perfectly fine. So I love these controllers very much, and I think like since you have 2 sticks and everything, it has everything they need to play every single game. Left and the right stick, buttons for like the D-pad buttons, which is not really a D-pad, but they work very fine. The buttons are so close to each other that you can very easily move from left to up and from up to right and like go the full circle. You might hear the sound there, like it's it works very well. And I mean, so very good. I compared them to the Wii remotes and Nunchuck, and then also the Move controller and the navigation controller for PS3, which only had 1 stick, so that was a bit of a problem. I liked playing on those, very relaxed as well, but then you only had like 1 stick and no one for camera control. So to finally have like controls you can play in a very like nice way, with no missing buttons. Very nice. I love these. So very happy with the Joy-Cons. When I do play on the TV, this is my preferred way of playing the Switch. I love holding them like this and just playing um, in a more natural way. Um, then we also have the Pro Controller, of course. This I had to buy separately. This does not come in the box, of course. It's pretty expensive as well, so this is a bit of a luxury. And I do not recommend buying this controller. There's no point really, because the Joy-Cons works perfectly fine, and I actually prefer the Joy-Cons over this controller when playing normal games. What's funny though is that even though these looks like motion controllers, they remind me and myself very much of the Wii controller. Um, these are my preferred way of playing non-motion games, but when playing motion games, um, this rocks. So kind of backwards there actually, and I mean that's funny. But gyro controls in Splatoon, for example, or gyro controls when aiming with your bow in Zelda, much better on this. So I mean, for shooting games, I guess, and some games later on, I'm gonna need this. So I felt like might as well get it right away. Um, just for that, I got a very good deal on this one as well. So I mean, why not? And also, like this is a really good controller. I mean, the buttons and the sticks and everything, it feels amazing. It's just that these are so good. Like these are my new favorite controllers, and I've been playing Zelda for over 100 hours or like close to 100 on the Joy-Cons, so I just got used to them very much. But I mean, this is not bad. This is very good. It's just that when I already have controllers I prefer, this is a bit unnecessary, but more of an investment. And I mean, I heard most people prefer this, so this is just me. A very unusual opinion, I guess. Um, so I mean, this feels great, and it's much closer to the Wii U. And if you're like me and you're a huge fan of the Wii U and got used to like the gamepad and like the big controller and like holding controllers like this in a like more traditional way, this is the way to go, obviously. Um, so that's the Pro Controller, really good actually. And of course it comes with this cable as well. So that's another thing. These are cables like this are probably around 20 euros, somewhere around there. So getting them in the box with the Pro Controller, I felt like justified the price even more. Um, because if you're gonna use a power bank and stuff like that, you are going to need one of these. This is the usual, like the classic USB. I guess it's a USB 2.0 cable to USB-C, which the Switch uses. So pretty nice stuff. I'm happy with the accessories and everything I got so far. I'm not gonna buy anything else. I have my Joy-Cons for multiplayer. I have a Pro Controller in case I need one, and I mean I'm perfectly fine like that. And I mean this is this is not something you need. I mean, what's so good about the Switch, and this is something I want to mention in my little review here, that as is, I mean the Switch already comes with two controllers. So if you want to play multiplayer, say Bomberman or Mario Kart next month, um, you can play them like this, like the Wii controller in New Super Mario Brothers, for example. Um, so out of the box, you have two controllers. How how good is that? That's like revolutionary, actually. I mean, I can't remember a console that launched with two controllers. So even though it's like two real controllers, it's still nice that you have multiplayer out of the box. Very nice. So what can I say next? I guess I just briefly want to mention on the cases. I mean, they look like PSP cases, but they're much thinner. Um, and they're clear as well. So the games I got here are Super Bomberman R and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. These are the only games I bought so far. I also got Blaster Master Zero digital. Um, but what the cases have in common is that they are clear cases. So inside you have artwork, um, or the possibility of like reversible covers, which every case have, I guess. But but I mean, it's so nice. If I just remove the instructions for Zelda here, you can see here that the insides of the cases are all very nice. So that's something I like. Um, and I guess that's it for like talking about the hardware and the accessory and like the physical form of everything. But if we're gonna talk about the system itself when it's powered on and stuff, um, I'm not entirely sure where to start or what I want to say. But something that's very important is that this system has all the languages on it. So you do not need to buy a separate Japanese system if you want the Japanese Switch. You can just change this to Japanese. Um, and it's region free. So this has like the option to play import games. And what's very cool with that actually is that if you buy a Japanese game and put it into your console that's set to English, the game is going to be in English as well. So it's super region friendly or import friendly. It's probably the most import friendly console ever because it also changes the language of the game. Very, very good stuff. So it's entirely region free. And when it comes to buying stuff online, you can also create a separate account and just change the system to Japanese, and you have access to the Japanese eShop. Very easy stuff. And it's so nice to be able to download all those Japanese exclusive demos. And I mean, if a game have DLC, I mean, I haven't even thought about that before, but that's cool. Say some DLC costumes might only be available in Japan. So if you switch over the console to Japanese, the game is gonna be like the Japanese version of the game with the voice acting and the text and everything. And the DLC would probably work then as well. So that's cool. Um, Zelda, for example, when I play this and I change the system to Japanese, this game has Japanese voice acting and everything. So after you finish the game, I recommend you change it to Japanese and just rewatch all those scenes. Because I mean, it's free. It's just something additional you can do with your Switch console. So very nice. So overall, I'm very happy with the console. My only negative is not a negative about the console itself. I mean, build quality, the screen is really, really nice. Let's talk about the screen a bit more in a second. But I mean, the console is great. It's just it doesn't have a lot of games, unfortunately. So I got the system because I knew I was gonna buy the system eventually anyway, for games that come out at a later time, and I am also going to buy Zelda for the Wii U. So instead of buying Zelda on the Wii U, I put that money on the Switch and the Zelda version for Switch instead. Um, Makes sense to me. I mean, I was gonna get this anyway, and why buy another game on another system when I can start building my library right away for the Switch? So for anybody asking like why I got it on release and everything, that's the reason, and I think it's logical enough. So yeah, right, the screen. The screen is, I'm not sure the exact amount of like inches, but it has the IPS screen, so it's the same as the new Nintendo 3DS, if you're lucky. The new Nintendo 3DS came with like different screens, so one could be like a TN screen and another could be an IPS, and the thing is, IPS screens have very nice colors, like much more vibrant colors. So this this reminds me of like an OLED screen, even though it's not. I mean, it has the same vibrant colors. So let's see if I can actually start it and show you. Probably not going to be captured very well on the camera, but I mean, it's a very good screen, a very, very good screen, and it's 720p, so it's not like a fake HD or like a low HD screen like the Vita, which still looks very, very nice. This is a true HD handheld, and probably the first HD handheld, so good stuff. One last thing before we wrap this up, I just want to say that the eShop works very well too. I've been having a lot of problem with Sony's PlayStation Network and the PlayStation Store over the last couple of years, or ever since I got my PS3 actually. They have a very slow store, and I mean it's just, it doesn't feel very good browsing around DLC and stuff because it loads for a very long time and it's slow. This is fast and it looks good, and it like it works like a 2017 console should out of the box, and that's the best way I can wrap this up and say like how happy I am with the Switch as a console right outside of the box because it was charged as well. I can just take it up, play it right away, and everything just works. Um, Very nostalgic actually. If you think back to consoles back in the day, you had cartridges, put them in, and you can play, and the Switch works just like that. No install, nothing. Um, so I mean, I'm very happy with the Nintendo Switch, and we'll see when more games come out and what we'll get for it. But so far, it's confirmed that we're having games from like a bunch of different companies. There's a picture online with I believe it's like 30 or more companies who are making games for the Switch. So that's very positive actually. Um, but so far, get this if you're planning on getting the Switch later and you're going to buy Zelda like I recently. Um, I mean, you can buy it now and buy Zelda on there, but or you wait for a price drop, or you do whatever you like. But if you're getting it, I just want you to know that my opinion on it is like all positive. I'm very happy with the Switch, so that'll be it for this time. I will get back and talk about it more in my pickups for March and also in my finished games of March because I did finish Zelda. So this is the last time talking about the Switch. So that'll be it. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, get gaming.